Like I mentioned in my last video, I'm moving my 2 raised beds that are like those ones over there, over here. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one back there. This is all irises in here, and I see I have some zinnias, which I must have put the seeds in there, but they're not going to do anything. Anyway, I'm going to dig up all these irises. I have to move this little tree, this one right here, which is okay. It didn't like it here anyway. Yeah, so I'm basically going to tear up this whole area right here. Oh, what was that that just went by? So, time to get to work. This is kind of a nice place to sit and have a rest. Yesterday it was quite warm, and I was over here digging up my irises because I'm going to put them all behind the shed here after I dig that all out. And I was over warm, sweating a lot, and I started to get the shakes, and I hadn't been drinking water, which was my first mistake. My second mistake was that I had a really heavy shirt on, which I should not have had on. And my third mistake was digging irises. If you've ever dug irises, you know how hard it is to get them to come loose. And I was working so hard, and I started to get the shakes, and I started to see black wheels in my eyes. And I barely made it in the house before I passed out. Oh my gosh, I haven't done that in a while. I have done that before, but not in a while. Anyway, I woke up on the kitchen floor. Gary was cutting grass on the other side of the house, so he didn't even know any of this was going on. Woke up on the floor, shed all my clothes, and I sort of crawled my way, found a bed, laid on there for a while, and started doing some deep breathing exercise. My heart was just going a mile a minute. But the black wheels started to go away. But I was soaking wet. I was sweating so hard. I laid there for about 15 minutes, and then I got up, had a warm drink of water. That's not when you should have cold water, that's when you should have warm water. Had some lukewarm water, and then went downstairs and had a lukewarm shower. Wow, that scared me. That really scared me. And I was kind of unsettled all evening. I was hot, and then I was cold, and I get the shivers. But before all of this, I've been having problems with one of my ears, which is nothing new for me. I have inner ear infections like every other year, and it seems like this is going to be the year because it's been really bad. I have drops. I always have antibiotic drops on hand because this happens so often. So I don't know if it was, I think it was a combination of everything. It was a combination of inner ear, combination of overheating, not having water, and just not stopping for a break. So I'm doing the same thing this morning, but I'm in the shade. I'm not in the sun. There is a beautiful breeze. I have a very light shirt on. I have drank a lot of water, and I am stopping for a break. But what a pretty sight this is. Gosh. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, the raspberries are gone. Well, they're not gone. That's a pile over here. This is going to make my life a lot easier next year. I'm going to be grassing this up now, and there will be this little shrub, one shrub in the middle and one at the very end. I wasn't going to take the sunflowers out, but I think I will. Now that I've started this, I want to clean it up, get it ready to seed. I'm going to seed grass in here. Yeah, and it's very windy. Sorry about that. I topped up this bed. I've been emptying one of the other raised beds at the front of the house and putting it in here because I got my hands on some really good garlic. I bought it locally here, and I'm going to plant a couple of rows of garlic in here. Now, I'm going to do it like in the next day or two. Still have things growing in there, and I found a bunch of beets that I didn't know I had in the front, so I pulled them. I'm just going to go and get them. But yeah, getting stuff done. I still have carrots in here and chard. Everything else is finished, so I'm going to leave that for a while. We haven't had a frost yet. We've been a little close, but we haven't had a killer frost, so I'm just going to leave it until it does. So I'm happy about that. I'm going to put my garlic in here probably tomorrow. And yeah, that's looking much better. This is going to be so much easier to mow with the tractor as well. Now Gary can get in here and make a turn. These farm trucks are so noisy. Yeah, he'll be able to go through here with the tractor, no problem. It's going to be so much easier for him. And for me, I don't have to deal with this. And this is the pile here. Can't see because of shadows. This is the pile I have to deal with. Now I've got to cut that all up and bag it so that we can take it to the dump. And as you know, if you're a gardener, it's a painful job. It was painful just getting them out of there because the thorns are so sharp on these stupid plants. But I don't have to deal with them anymore. That's the end of the raspberries. At one time I did have raspberries all the way down here, but I never got anything. Actually, I think I see. No, that's not raspberries there. So yeah, I'm gonna just finish cleaning the rest of this. Not today, but I'm gonna take it all down. So, oh, and I moved my park bench way over here in the shade. It needs a coat of varnish or stain. Being in the sun really bleached it out. So I'll do that in the spring. I'm not going to do it now, no point. But I think I'll sit here and have a little rest. It's nice. It's in the shade. Ah, things are happening. But it's so much work. So I did do a little bit more over here too. I didn't record it though because the wind has been horrendous. You wouldn't have heard or would have said. So I did take out a couple plants. I better give these guys some water. Cleaned this part here. I still have behind it to do, but I'm just moving things. Oh, look at my little daisies. They're open finally. I have quite a few of those. And they're so pretty. I think they're asters, they're not really daisies. Yeah, still have more irises to get out of here, and I have to move this tree, and then I have to clean this out. I think there's still, there's a hosta there and a hosta there. I'm gonna take those out, and I think, I don't know what that is. Oh, there looks like there's a delphinium in there, right there. And that looks like it might be a daylily. The rest of this can come out except for the daylilies. I'm only going as far as the daylilies because the 2 boxes will fit right here. Still a lot to do, but that looks way better over there. I'm very happy with that. Look at how that opened up that space. Awesome. Tree is really turning color and it dropping big leaves. that I am going to use for some dyeing. I did do one batch of echo printing, real echo printing, and it turned out okay, but I ordered some alum because I think I need it. But look at the size of these leaves. They're massive and they're perfect. I want to try doing some echo printing on paper, and these are going to be used for that. Okay, so I'm going to take this tomato out of here. I still got a basket of tomatoes. They're all small, but that's okay. They're still edible. I'm saving these. Carrots in here, chard. We've been eating chard. A lot of chard. It's very good. It's good for you too. It's actually got very dry again. We haven't had any more rain after those 7 days of rain. It stopped. It's been very hot too. We were actually the hot spot of Manitoba and the hot spot of Canada one day last week. Believe it or not, we were 29.1 degrees Celsius. That's pretty hot for September. Well, as much as I like to talk, I need to get to work. Next is to clean up a little bit in there, and I got more soil to bring over and put in there. And here comes the train. Well, I'm back at it today. Today I want to clean this front part here of this perennial bed where I am taking things out and moving some things in. Yeah, I want to get this side done and I want to get this side done. And then there are things way down there that I'm going to move into here. So this has to all be cleaned first. I might swap out that big sage and this. Yeah, I got things to do here. So I am going to get moving. It's 10 degrees Celsius this morning. It's about 9:30. And this is the perfect temperature for me to work in because I don't get overheated. It's supposed to be up to 28 degrees Celsius today, so I'm going to work this morning and be in the house for the heat because I can't be out here. So, wish me luck. I'll show you the progress when I get something done. Well, that's about a 45-minute job right there. Now this edge I'm going to straighten out later, or I might leave it curly. Nature isn't straight. Nature has lots of curves, but anyway, this is a spirea. It's called the first red spirea. And actually, considering the drought year we had, it's done very well. I am going to take the grass away from it on this side. So, in all that mess, I managed to dig up quite a bit of this perennial dianthus, which spreads like crazy. So I will put it back, some of it, but I'm going to dot it around because it does cut down, although it does attract some grass, it does cut down a lot on quack. So I'll dot it around. It is very pretty, and it just blooms all summer long. I found 2 tiny little lupins, three actually. I've had these lupins, I've been trying to get these lupins to grow for about 3 years, and that's as far as they've ever gotten. So, I don't know. Now, I did take out the butterfly bushes, I got them over there. I might put them at the front of the house or someplace where I don't have to look at them. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sage, no, maybe not. I think I might put the sage over there, but I have to clean that area too. There's a couple of things here now I have to be really careful, because this is my beloved perennial poppy and I am not moving it. It does so well here. That's that big pink one that's bigger than my hand. I love it so much, so I have to be very careful. I will dig this all up by hand, not with the fork. And I'm just going to continue going along here until I get to the red sedum. If I can get this all done and the back part done, then I can see where I've got spaces to put things. I've got three very small hostas. And speaking of hostas, I'll show you how small those hostas are that I'm talking about. If I can get around there. I have quite the mess to clean up, of course. They're so small I don't even know where they are. Okay, there's one. There's one there. And there's the other there. Those hostas have been in the ground for 3 years now. And that's all they've done. This area gets a lot of shade, so I thought that they would be fine here. And I want to show you something. I took one out as an experiment this summer. It wasn't even spring, it was summer. And I put it over here. And look at the growth on it. It has gone happy. So, I put one here too, and it also is gone happy. A lot happier than it was. So I might make a spot here for another one. And I think what I might do is put them along the back here, maybe. In the summertime, this does get sun, but I might put one behind that tree over there. Now that I've taken all that other stuff out, I might put one there. I don't know. I'm just going to have to experiment a little bit. Or maybe one might be good right there. I don't know. But that's a speculation for later. Right now, I'm going to finish working along here. Get this cleaned up all the way to the sedum. So far, so good. And look at the quack. Now, up until last year, I had almost conquered the quack in here. I had it under a very manageable state. But then I put straw down. And I'll show you the difference. I have this stuff. This stuff here. This is from straw. And it's everywhere. This is quack. This is from straw. And I'm fighting that battle. This would be a good place for a hosta right here. Okay. Now these little things, they're volunteers. And I think they're a wildflower. And I think they might be a wild orchid. I don't know. Tell me, do you know what these are? There's one here. And there's one here. But they look like an orchid. I'm not going to touch them because I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Look at them. They are an orchid. Now, I threw some wildflower seeds in here a couple of years ago. Perhaps that's what they're from. All right, I'm going to put you down. And I'm going to get back to work. You know, I'm just taking a break. But I've been thinking. I had really convinced myself that I was no longer interested in gardening. I was gonna grass it all up, get rid of it all, until the last couple of days. Even after having that little spell that I had last week, the last few days I've been rethinking that and realizing that it's not about the successes or the fails of your garden, or if your garden is overcome with weeds or grass or quack. It's about what I personally, or what the gardener personally gets out of gardening. True gardening, true gardeners. It's something inside of us that requires us to get down in our old clothes with our tools and dig and move earth and talk to plants and a few insects too, and help nature along. I don't care if I have a garden that's worthy of a magazine. I mean, I would like to have it better than it is this year, but I think what we have to remember are there going to be there's going to be years like this where you can't do what you want to do. The conditions are against you. You can't be super gardener because life has gotten in the way. Your husband has been seriously ill. You yourself might have been seriously ill. But there's one quote that I've always clung to. And I'm sure everybody has heard it. To believe in a garden, no. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. And that is so true. That's why I plant my garden. That's why I work in it. I need to be in the garden. As it is, where I live, I'm limited. I have maybe 6 months to be in my garden. This year, I didn't even have a month, really. But I'm catching up now. And I'm enjoying this so much. I really am. Anyway, I think my break is over. I have a lot of cleanup here to do. Look at the quack. Look at. That's what happens from a summer of neglect. And it's not that I wanted to neglect my garden. I did not, but it just happened that way. So I'm almost to the sedum. If I get to the sedum, I'm just going to do this little back part here and get to where behind those Gloriosa daisies. By that time, I think it might be time to stop because it's starting to get a little warm. And I do not want to go through anything silly again. Tomorrow, I might start working on that side. Get this end of the garden cleaned up, move things out of there, and I think what I'm going to do is once I get the irises and that little tree out, I'm just going to take my tiller in there and just till that all up because there's going to be beds on it anyway, so that shall save the back a little bit. But this is, aside from pulling quack, which, to be honest with you, I don't hate it anymore. It's more of a challenge, me against the quack. I'd never had quack in a garden until I moved out here. But then I had clay. Which is worse? quack or clay? Gee, I don't know. I think I'll take the quack because at least you can pull it out. The clay, you can put in anything, sand, peat, whatever you want, and you're still going to have the clay. It never goes away. It seems to eat up all the good stuff and turn to clay. This soil here is very loamy, sandy loamy. It's beautiful. It runs through your fingers. It's lovely soil. And I've been taking stuff out of my compost heap from the center and I'm spreading it around. I'm going to empty it down because I got a whole bunch of more stuff to put in there. Okay. I think I'm just going to get back to work. This is going to be a long video. Well, it's turning hot. It's near noon, so I am going to quit. So I have put my bird bath that my brother brought me here. And I found these. I thought that was a foxglove, only because of what the flower part looked like. I'm hoping, I don't know what it is now. But I found these, and I think these are foxgloves. So I planted them all in here. I did seed some foxgloves. And these have tiny little seeds attached to them, so I really do think that that's what this is. I hope they're going to winter now that I've moved them. They were buried underneath all that grass over there. So I have also pulled out the tree, and it is soaking in that yellow pail there along with a delphinium. I have the butterfly bushes soaking in water in case I want to plant them elsewhere in the yard, which I think I might. And over in the pergola I have 3 hostas soaking in water, and all the perennial dianthus that I took out, so they can be in water. Everything when I dig them up is really dry around the roots, so I'll let them have a good drink overnight and then I'll decide what to do. So I'm done for today, and I think I've done enough. And I think I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm not going to quit working. I keep working, but I'll have to be on the next video because this one's got way too long. Oh, but I'm going to sit down for a minute. Hostas might go around here. I don't know. Yeah, that looks good. Got a lot done today. Well, I think I've done enough. I am tired. I'm not overtired, but I'm tired. And I'm proud of what I've done today, so that's good. That's all you can hope for in a day. Do something that you're proud of. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.